What makes you laugh? What are you grateful for? Keep sharing. By the way, if you don't know the person you're sitting near or next to, you can introduce yourself. You can move around the room. This is not a silent prayer. It's a noisy prayer. It says so right here. What do you do that makes others feel happy? Ve'al hanisim, ve'al hapurkan, ve'al hagvurot, ve'al hatshuot, and for the miracles and wonders and the mighty deeds, for the salvations and victories you've wrought for our ancestors in their days and in this day. In the days of Mordecai and Esther, the wicked Haman arose in Persia, plotting the destruction of the Jews. He planned to destroy them in a single day, the 13th of Adar, to permit the plunder of their possessions. But through your great mercy, his plan was thwarted, his scheme frustrated. We therefore thank and bless you, O great and gracious God. Baruch atah Adonai she'otecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imeru, amen. And as we are about to prepare our version of the Megillah, we say these three blessings. First, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mikra Megillah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who sanctifies us and commands us to read from the Megillah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who made miracles for our ancestors in the days of old. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who has kept us alive to celebrate this special season together. And now for our Megillah by Dr. Seuss. This is the silent part. The other part was noisy. You can't. You got to just read. No, I'm kidding. By Dr. Seuss. Shema Yeladim, and hear us well, for the story of Purim is here to tell. It took place in Shushan long, long ago. Now off to Persia we all will go. In this beautiful kingdom ruled a king with no brain who'd think such a thing. He spent all his days and his nights having fun, parading his wealth in the warm Persian sun. A queen named Vashti was his loyal wife. She promised to love him all of her life. She promised, that is, until he did ask for her to perform an unthinkable task. At his grandest of parties, the king did command Queen Vashti dance for royal men of the land. I am not your servant, and dance I will not. Vashti refused the king's sexist plot. For Vashti, you see, was not known as a fibber. In fact, she was history's first women's liber. Vashti was banished, away she did go. Where did she go? That I do not know. In this faraway kingdom, there also lived Jews who could not practice the religion they choosed. No Torah, no challah, no matzah ball soup, for a villain named Haman had started a coup. Bow to me now, cruel Haman. Did say, for I'm an important man of the day. I'm the king's right-hand man. I rule and I see. If you don't bow down now, you will cease to be. Meanwhile, back at the palace grand, an announcement went out throughout the land. A new queen would be chosen in an unusual way, in a beauty contest held the very next day. All the maidens of the land were forced to appear from far and from near, from near and from far and from near. One such maiden had brains and had grace. Her name was Esther, with such a pretty face. Encouraged by her uncle, or was it her cousin? Mordecai, I beg, dear Esther, this you must try. With your brains and your beauty, you he would choose. Go, go, comb your hair and wear your nice shoes. Besides that, my dear, with your grace and your charm, you'll blow them away. You'll be King Ahasuerus's arm. Unsure of herself, but willing to go, because she loved her uncle so. She entered the contest, but said, Uncle dear, promise me that you'll always stay near. The contest was held. They came one and all, and Esther, of course, was queen of the ball. Though Ahasuerus chose her, she was now queen. There was one rotten rule she had not foreseen. Under penalty of death, she had to obey the following rule in an unbending way. Her new husband commanded she could only see him when he chose to see her and on his whim. So now back to Haman. That cruel, crusty fellow. At the top of his lungs, he continued to bellow, bow down now, I command, or great harm will come to you throughout the land. Mordecai, of course, refused to obey. I bow only to God to my last dying day. Haman, well, I got too fancy with the animation. Our computers can't handle it. Haman said, his face turned red with anger and hate. I'll get you, my pretty, if it's the last breath I take. Well, Mordecai turned his back, and others did follow. As for Haman, well, his pride he had to swallow. That Jew, Mordecai, who's groggering on Mordecai? No, we cheer for Mordecai, yeah. No groggering for Mordecai. You can say, yay. That Jew, Mordecai, ruined my heinous plot. Because of this affront, I will have to draw lots. The straw that I pick, the one that comes nigh, is the day that the Jews of all Persia will die. And onto his three-cornered hat he did cast all of the dates, the future, the past. The lot that he picked was 13th of Adar. Make ready the gallows, Adar is not far. Right after Haman, he did pester, went Mordecai to see Queen Esther. At the palace gate 2 guards he did broach, plotting to kill Ahasuerus. Brave Morty protected the king and his land by revealing the plot in the palace grand. His loyalty and his brains gave him the upper hand. The king in his chamber that evening did read of Mordecai's loyalty in the book of good deeds. With the smallest of brains, the king thinked and thinked. Who is this Mordecai who saved me from the brink? Who is this man who foiled the guard's plan? I must reward him. Send for Haman. A question to Haman. Ahasuerus did pose. How could I honor a man who has been on his toes, who has saved my kingdom through heroic deeds without a single thought to his own needs? Well, Haman, thinking this hero was he for saving the kingdom from the Jews for the king, pompously swelled with excitement and greed, he knew the king his words would heed. I think, my dear king, no reward is too great. Give him diamonds and jewels and a house by the lake, fabulous clothing and all the best. Let him ride the king's horse at your next birthday fest. Well, make it so, dear Haman. Loyal right-hand man, bring forth Mordecai the Jew. That is my command. Instruct all my tailors, my jewelers, and builders to spare no shekels, no rubles or guilders. Call the king's horses and all the king's men to honor this Jew again and again. Well, Haman, astounded, speechless at best, he felt his anger spread from his feet to his chest. This could be the man who refused to bow down. Must he now be honored throughout the town? Well, seizing this moment, the opportunity here, Mordecai to Esther did appear. Using his wits and oh so clever brain, Morty made history, now Esther his fame. You must risk your life and go to the king and tell him this heinous thing, that Haman is planning. The Jews will all die. You must go, brave Esther. This you must try. But cousin or uncle, she said, trembling with fear, without his permission I cannot go near. It could be my life. I am so afraid. But Morty said, you can do this, babe. So use your brains and your charm and your prettiest skirt and your Shayna Purim. What could that hurt? So Esther swallowed her fear and she calmed her nerves. She went to this task with vim and with verve. At the party given the very same night, she walked into the banquet trembling with fright. Though shocked to see her, the king did beckon. I'll see her. It's fine, I reckon. You reckon? Dear husband, she said, I've gotten some news so horribly horrible that I did choose to come unsummoned and be by your side. You must listen to me. After all, I'm your bride. Risking her life, Esther told him the story of Haman's dastardly plan, evil and hoary. Esther, still trembling, explained to her mate, my lord, at the risk of sealing my fate, I must tell you something that may be news. Someone is planning to kill all the Jews. Well, this includes Mordecai, all of his kin, and in that category you must put me in. For you see, I am Jewish, but so loyal to you. Please don't hurt my people. Please don't hurt the Jews. I fear, my dear husband, unless you act with your heart, I too will die on the 13th of Adar. Thinking the thoughts as a king was sure to think, perhaps his loyal wife deserved a nice mink. Well, then he called for his henchman, his number 2, to question again what he should do in order to save his wife and her kin. Haman, of course, slunk right in. Dear Esther, tell Haman your fears. Don't be afraid. Tell him, my dear. Okay, here goes nothing, said Esther inside, and she looked straight at Haman and summoned her pride. You wicked, wicked man, how dare you pretend that you are loyal to my king to the end? You who did plot to destroy all the Jews will also kill me, whom the king did choose. For I too am Jewish, you hateful old coot. Turn around, said the king. I'll give you the boot. I sentence you now to the gallows you built. Not a single drop of Jewish blood shall be spilt. Pack up your belongings, but don't go on the gallows. You'll be swinging on the 13th of Adar. The moral of the story, Yeladim, Yehudim, you now know, is to honor God and all people wherever you go, to stand up and speak out for all that is right, And to you, Chag Sameach, Laila Tov, and good night. Our service concludes with the Aleinu. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה. לא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. As with every service, even a fun service like this one, we always take a moment to remember those who are not with us, to celebrate the holiday with us this year, those who are no longer here, those who have died and gone on. There are stars up above so far away that we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways to remember. And in particular, we remember those who have died in recent days, including Reuben Zamora Sr. and Rachel Maves, for whom we are in a period of Shiva. We also remember all those who have died in the past year, including Arturo Mendoza, Oscar Tauber, Jack Wernick, Jose A. Almorza, Dr. Jose A. Majeres, Michael Ginsberg, Shirley Tepper, Rachel Peña, Lillian Thomas, Jose Luis Trujillo Jimenez, Vicente Navarro, Michael Kratowski, Larry Allen Wayner, Stuart Klein, Juanita Schraber Kaufman, Michelle Bernstein, and Erwin Hahn. If you are remembering someone now who has died in recent days or whose yahrzeit occurs on Purim, please rise and remain standing as you say their name aloud now. You may also post their name in the chat or speak their name aloud or in your heart if you're joining us remotely. And if it is your custom to stand with those who mourn, you may rise now at this time. Yitgadal vayitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach vayishtabach vayitpa'ar vayitromam vayitnaseh vayithadar vayit'aleh vayithalal shemei dekudisha berichu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated, and our real closing song is also our opening song. Remember, most of the words are very easy. Misha, 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 Nichnas Adar. Misha, 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 Nichnas Adar. Misha, Nichnas Adar, Marvim Besimcha. Misha, Nichnas Adar, Misha, Nichnas Adar. Misha, 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 Nichnas Adar. Misha, 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 Nichnas Adar. Chag Purim Sameach. Have a very happy Purim to all of you. Those of you who are here, I hope you'll join us now in the social hall where we'll say a few blessings over our Purim treats. You are welcome to keep the masks. If you picked up a mask on your way in, you can return the groggers to the table. And you may, by the way, thank you to the Wyatt family for supplying the masks. And thank you to Deborah, who's also here, for supplying some of the Hamantaschen. And I think the groggers, not the groggers. Someone else brought the groggers. Thank you to, if you're enjoying a challah after the service, to Amadeus, who usually keeps the technical side of things running smoothly. He's on spring break this week, and luckily he was quick to pick up the phone and help me out so we could get the service started not too long after we were scheduled. As you know, we always roll with the punches around here. So do join us after the service right now for our the margarita part of the Margarita Megillah reading. We do have margaritas. We have glasses and ice if you brought your own, and lots of Passover, lots of Purim treats. Bad rabbi. Okay, we're not there yet. You don't have to. You should start thinking about Passover starting tomorrow. We're officially in Passover season. We'll see you in there. Chag Purim Sameach.